So I was watching some videos, probably shouldn't have because it's just a waste of time, but I was watching the videos about people getting facelifts, and it shows a before picture of somebody, and then it shows how they cut them up and kind of messed with them, and then afterwards their facelift was done, and then I guess they were prettier than they were before. So these women are trying to make themselves look younger and look better. And I guess the jury is still kind of out on whether they actually do look better afterwards. And I can't help but feel like it's sort of a kind of a Frankenstein sort of thing to be doing. It kind of feels like are you really fixing something that's broken? Are you improving something legitimately and truly? Or are you just putting lipstick on a pig? You're trying to create the illusion that something is what it's not. At some point, reality catches up, because I'm all for reversing the aging process if you could do that. I'm all for finding ways to age more gracefully. I'm all for finding a way to look better naturally, or to find a way to be more youthful. All of those things would be wonderful, wonderful things. But just trying to cosmetically change a person's appearance, at some point, you look at them and you kind of feel like there's something off about it. There's something weird and jarring about a person who's gone to such great lengths to try to look young, despite the fact that they're not. I think Madonna stands out as a good example of this. Like, she's ultimately an old lady, but she in some ways looks like a young woman because she's gone through so many procedures to try to look youthful. And yet she doesn't quite look right either. So there's that. Well, anyways, I was thinking about mods in games and how it's kind of like that in gaming. I was watching a number of videos of amazing things that people have done with Skyrim, and the degree to which people have modded that game successfully is truly incredible. And I've thought about doing it myself, to go down the rabbit hole, to start modding Skyrim, and to see how good I could make that game look. But then I thought, you know, I don't know that I want to do that. I think I'd rather, if I do play the game, just enjoy it with very minimal mods. Don't try to reinvent the game to turn it into something that it's not. Because then you go down that path, and at some point, it's not just one or two mods that you downloaded because they were cool. It's that you full on are just making modding your main hobby. That's all you're doing. All you're doing is modding this game to try to make it look good, to try to see if you can find a way to mod it into looking like a modern AAA title. And you're not really enjoying the experience, because all you're trying to do is make it look better. Superficially, you're going to make it look better. But under the hood, it's still that same 13-year-old game. You know it, everybody knows it. Doesn't mean it's not a good game. But if you really want AAA graphics, why not play a more modern AAA game? One where you can just get a really good experience right out of the box. All you have to do is go download it on Steam, and you've got yourself a good modern experience. No, it's not Skyrim, but you could have something that's amazing, and you don't have to spend hours or days trying to figure out how to mod the game to get it right, only to find that there's something you overlooked, and maybe now you have a corrupted save, or the game doesn't load right, or something like that. Now, I'm not anti-mod, but I've noticed this trend. I noticed it as a player of Cities Skylines as well. I got into modding in Cities Skylines, and next thing you know, I would spend so much time downloading more mods for Cities Skylines, more custom buildings. It didn't feel like a game anymore. It felt like a diorama creator. I was just downloading more stuff to try to make the game look better than it really was supposed to be something more than what it was. And in the process, I lost the ability to enjoy it as a game. Which is why in more recent times, I very seldom will download mods for a game like Cities Skylines. Simply because I want my experience to be an authentic one. I like to start off with a clearly defined set of building blocks and then build within those constraints. See how good I can make it look using the tools that are in the box that the game came with. And in the end, it winds up being a more rewarding experience in many cases to play a game vanilla, because you aren't trying to change the game to make it something it's not. You're just immersing yourself in the environment the way the developers intended for you to experience it. And that's something that's kind of interesting, because it's so easy to go down the rabbit hole and then make modding something that takes up a lot of time and energy depending on the game you're playing. Games like Cities Skylines or Skyrim are great examples of this. But the truth is, you don't have to do that to have a good experience. Just like a person who is aging doesn't necessarily need cosmetic surgery to look good. Simple things. Take care of your body. You don't need cosmetic surgery to not be obese, to exercise regularly, to eat good food, those kinds of things. And then there's a matter of attitude. There's a lot of people who seem youthful in the way they carry themselves because they have a good attitude about life. And then there's a lot of people who are young, but they seem like they're old, worn out, spent, because you know what they are? They're bitter. They don't know how to smile if their life counted on it. And they're just toxic, brittle people. And those people at any age are not really going to have a lot to offer when it comes to appeal. So why not focus on the things that are well within your wheelhouse to focus on, to be a positive person, to have a healthy lifestyle, to go back to gaming as an example, to have a healthy play style, to enjoy the experience that you have every day and make the most of it, instead of constantly looking to see if there's some sort of a cheat, some sort of a gimmick, some sort of a thing you can do to somehow transform your experience into something that's outside the parameters of design. In the end, you get a more stable experience, just like how a vanilla unmodded game, it's less likely to crash. It's less likely to have conflicts when one mod isn't compatible with another or a game update breaks it. You're more likely to just feel comfortable with the experience you're having. If you're not constantly trying to manipulate the outcome of everything to suit a narrative that is not necessarily part of the base game. I think less modding is better. I think less modding is better in life too. Because the truth of the matter is, drawing a parallel between gaming and life, people who are always trying to manipulate their environment are seldom as happy as people who are just content with their life as it is. So this ties in well with probably stop chasing things. Stop trying to see if you can find a way to reach further, and instead reach deeper. Instead of trying to have more, learn to be more familiar and happy with what you have, and make the most out of every day. Because to go back to Skyrim as an example, I'll tell you probably the best experiences I ever had in Skyrim weren't modding it. The best experiences were probably enjoyed when it was a new game, played purely vanilla, by people who were experiencing their first open world RPG, probably when they were children or teenagers. Like, those were the best experiences. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel in order to get where you're trying to go. And sometimes less is more. That's just the truth. As always, don't focus so much on trying to make your life perfect. Focus more on finding ways to enjoy the life you have and to make every day a good one. Till next time, thanks for watching.